The JoLynn Braley Show, Episode 54, How to Keep Your New Year's Resolution to Lose Weight. Hello and welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, and this is the JoLynn Braley Show. Happy New Year once again. Here we are in the second week of the new year of 2014, and on today's show we're going to talk about how to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight. Before we get into that topic, I do want to invite you to learn more about what has really been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. And you can learn more at fearlessfatloss.com. That's fearless, F-E-A-R-L-E-S-S, fat, F-A-T, loss, L-O-S-S.com. And while you are at fearlessfatloss.com, you can grab my free 5-day e-course, which will help you discover what has really been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. Join me on today's show as I go beyond the food to the real issue. What is the real issue? It should be the food, shouldn't it? Isn't that what everyone else is talking about? Everyone's talking about eat this, don't eat that, do this kind of exercise, don't do that kind of exercise, this kind of exercise burns fat, this kind of food burns fat, this kind of food doesn't burn fat. Here's this miracle pill, here's this miracle cure. Oh, by the way, the FTC just came out this week with a ruling against 4 weight loss companies who have been giving false claims to consumers about their ability, their little magic fixes to lose weight. One of those companies that the FTC won a settlement against is Sensa, the sprinkle diet, which I wrote about back in 2008. And you know, the bottom line is there is no magic. There's no magical cure for your food and weight problems. The real issue, let's get back to that, what I started to talk about. The real issue here is your mindset. You see, your mindset is what either makes weight loss very, very, very hard, or your mindset makes weight loss very, very, very easy. If you already had a weight loss mindset, you would never ever buy into those magical claims of instant fat loss by eating this kind of a magical berry or sprinkling these sprinkles on your food. And good for the FTC for cracking down on these companies. You can find out more about this ruling going to fearlessfatloss.com. I just wrote about it. That was just this week, and there was a news bulletin that came out through Reuters. Once again, though, there's no magic here. There is no magic. If you put food into your body when your body is not physically hungry, what do you think your body will do with that food? It's going to store it. What do you think will happen on the flip side if your body is actually physically hungry and you don't give it food? There are people that do that also. You need to feed your body when your body is physically hungry, and it doesn't take that much food to satiate that physical hunger. But you don't need me to tell you this, do you? You already know that. Your mindset, however, when it's FAT, it's grounded in fear-attracting thoughts, it gets in your way every time, and that is what creates your emotional eating, your binge eating, your late-night stuffing, your last supper eating, your self-sabotage, your low self-esteem, beating yourself up, the negative self-talk, all of those things that you do on the inside of you that drive you to the refrigerator, to the grocery store, to the fast food restaurant, to get more food, to put it in your mouth to try to feel better. And it's not your fault that you can't stop doing this. Obviously, you're a very, very smart person, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to me right now. I only attract very smart people. It's not an issue of intelligence. You can clearly see that in your life because you're very successful except for this food and weight issue. The real issue is your mindset. There is no magical cure for your mindset problems, your mindset issues, your mindset challenges. There is no pill, cleanse, shake, or substance that can fix why you started using food in the first place. There is no magic to cure the root of your ongoing food and weight struggles. Well, there actually is magic if you take action and you do the steps of the inner self diet. At least that's what my coaching clients tell me. They tell me that it feels like magic. It feels like magic to them. For example, one of the recent graduates of the inner self diet, Marcia had struggled for 49 years with food and weight, with compulsive overeating, with chocolate addiction, with overweight, going back and forth with the weight loss, weight gain, all of that. And to hear her talk about it, to hear her say on her Success audio interview, which you can also find at fearlessfatloss.com, to hear her talk about it, she said that if I had told her all of the outstanding results that she would get from the inner self diet, that she never would have believed me. But she's living them now. She no longer has the compulsion to abuse food or to abuse herself. She no longer has the compulsion to overeat. She's in full control of her own mind and emotions, and all of this is a result of the inner self diet. She's already released 27 pounds without struggling, without making a New Year's resolution, without making herself do another diet, a food diet, without making herself do anything. And even though her results to her, they feel like magic, it wasn't magic. She took action with the proven steps of my proprietary proven step-by-step mentoring system, which is the inner self diet. The inner self diet always works if you do it. It will never work if you don't do it. And it does feel like magic, but it's not magic. Again, I can't stress that enough. You actually have to do different things to get different results. And everything starts with your mindset. Everything starts with yourself. Everything in your life, your body, your finances, your relationships, everything is about you. It all stems from you. Heal your own inner self issues, whatever your inner self blocks are, anything that's in your way, heal that, and the rest of your life will open up and thrive. And it cannot be any other way. And in fact, this is why my clients I work with in the inner self diet, they have all of these amazing results in their relationships, in their work life, in their business, in their finances, in their spiritual life, because all of these areas intersect. And the reason that you're struggling with food right now, and the reason that you're overweight, it's not because of the food, it's not because of your food diet, it's not because of your exercise program, it's because of you. Now, am I saying that you can sit on the couch and eat brownies all day and have the body you want? No, I'm not saying that at all. It does matter what you eat. It does matter how often you exercise and what kind of exercise you do. But that diet and exercise is only 10% of the solution. That's 10% of it. Your inner self, your mindset, your you that you are, that is 90% of the equation. Get that sorted out, get that on the right track, and that healthy living, the healthy eating, the healthy exercise routine that you live as a part of your life, those things will be just a snap. It won't be any big deal anymore because it will be who you are. So, how to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight. How do you do that? Oh, by the way, I've just been telling you all about these outstanding results that Marcia has received and the results that you can get from the Inner Self Diet to actually begin on your path to freedom from all of your ongoing food and weight struggles. The way you do that is also go over to fearlessfatloss.com and you'll see a link at the top of the web page, and it says free discovery session. Click on that, fill out the application for a complimentary one-on-one weight loss discovery session. That's for you if you really are serious about being so wonderful to yourself, that you are so willing and ready to get out of your own way to release all of your ongoing food and weight struggles, which you are the only one that can do that. It doesn't mean that you know how to do that right now, but you're the only one that could take action with the Inner Self Diet steps. Your first step in that direction is to apply for that complimentary weight loss discovery session, and you can do that at fearlessfatloss.com. All right, so today's topic, how to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight. How do you do that? Why is it that people make these New Year's resolutions to lose weight, and before we even get to the second week of January, they're back to their old ways? Why do you do that? Why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult to follow through? Why can't you just tell yourself, hey, I'm going to make this change, and that's it? Well, one thing in your favor is if you actually do make the decision to completely transform your inner self, then the solution to do that will come. However, what most people do is they tell themselves that they're going to go do another food diet. And like I was just covering with you in the beginning of the show, that's only 10% of the solution. So when you leave out 90% of the problem, which is also 90% of the solution, which is your inner self, when you leave all of that out of it and you're telling yourself that on January 1st you're going to make yourself eat a different way, exercise a different way, well, here's the problem with that, and here's why it's so hard to keep your New Year's resolution. Because 90% of you is not that fit and healthy person who would be eating healthy and exercising. If you already were a fit and healthy individual who lived a fit, healthy lifestyle, and that was just who you are, you would never make a New Year's resolution to lose weight, because all throughout the holiday season, you still would have been exercising. You would have enjoyed the holiday season. You would have enjoyed whatever treats you like at that time of year, but you would have only put food in your mouth when you were physically hungry, and you would have stopped when you were physically full. It would not have been a big deal. The people that make New Year's resolutions to lose weight are the people that need to change their mindset, because they would never make a New Year's resolution to lose weight if they already were the healthy, fit person that they want to become. So, in order to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight, number one, you never want to make a New Year's resolution in the first place. Number two, how to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight. If you did make a resolution, the way that you keep that is you take a step back and you need to find a program that is proven to work, that is going to help you become the person who would want to easily live a healthy lifestyle. To become the person who would be excited about going for a run every day. Or if you don't like running, I'm not a runner, I like to walk. I like paced walking, which is a fast pace of walking. I like walking. I like riding my bike when the weather is nice, and all other different kinds of activities. I like yoga. I'm not a runner, but some people are. If you used to be a runner, or if you've never been a runner, but for some reason it appeals to you, the way to make that become easy is you become that runner on the inside first. You become that person on the inside who enjoys the physical activity, that person who wants to feed their body healthy foods. You become all of that on the inside. Now, this is about a lot more than just thinking positive thoughts. This has to do with self-image, which, believe it or not, it really is an image. It really is a picture within you, or it could be more than one picture you're carrying around. It has to do with beliefs, which are extremely strong. Your beliefs are what rule your life. And I don't know what kind of beliefs you have working against you right now, but if you did not have limiting beliefs, then you would not be struggling with food and your weight. If you didn't have limiting beliefs in the area of your body. For all I know, and I don't know because you're not a client of mine, I would need to speak with you and work with you personally like I do in the Inner Self Diet with my awesome coaching clients. But for all I know, maybe you have a limiting belief that if I lose weight, then I won't have any self-control and I'll have sex with anybody who approaches me. I don't know. I mean, and you probably don't know either what your limiting beliefs are because you've had them for so long. And I'm not being funny with that example I just gave you. There are many women that have that thought. I've had clients who had that thought before we transformed their limiting beliefs in just a couple minutes, which is one of the exercises that I do with my clients in the Inner Self Diet. And that does require two-way communication. It's not something that would be done on a one-sided audio podcast like this right here. It would be completely out of integrity to do something like that blind with people who I don't even know could be listening to this, and I don't even know what you are working with, what kind of limiting beliefs you have. But do know that it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out 7-year process to change your limiting beliefs. It can be done very quickly when you're working with a professional who knows how to do that. And so what we're looking at here is on the inside, let's make it really simple. If you're fat on the inside, you need to be fat on the outside because the inner and the outer always match. And FAT, those are your fear-attracting thoughts. When you have an FAT mindset, that creates the fat on the outside. It all matches up. This is why when you make that New Year's resolution to lose weight, like you did this year, if you did it this year, and like you have done for so many years in the past, and then you know, it's going to be February 1st very soon, and then it will be March 1st, then it's going to be July 4th, and then we're going to be into another holiday season very shortly, and you'll be looking back on this year and saying, where did it all go? I said I was going to lose 50 pounds in 2014. I didn't do it. Well, let's go make another New Year's resolution. These challenges that you have on the inside, they're not going to go away unless you ever address them. Now, is it possible to force yourself to keep that New Year's resolution, use all your willpower, and lose weight? Sure, I'm sure that you've done that before also. You can force yourself to stick to a diet and not enjoy it, but force yourself to do it and lose weight. But then, what were the results that you got over time? Were you able to keep that weight off? You see, one of the universal laws that we live under is you cannot enjoy the outcome to a journey you despise. This is why it's so important to enjoy the journey that you're on, the journey of releasing the excess fat from your body. If you don't enjoy the journey that you're on right now, then you're not going to enjoy the outcome either. When you step on that scale and you see the ideal number that you want, that's not going to change what you have on the inside. Maybe you've even had that experience before where you did get to your ideal body weight, but you still weren't happy. You see, it's backwards to think or to expect that weight loss is going to make you happy. Now we're going into a completely another topic, and the topic today is supposed to be how to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but that actually is one of the ingredients of how you would keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight, and that is to get happy right now, which is part of becoming that fit, healthy person on the inside. Because if you were already that fit, healthy person on the inside who really was happy about eating healthy, happy about cooking healthy foods for yourself, happy about exercising every day or 5 days a week, if you really enjoyed all of that, then what in the world would be the problem? There would not be any problem, would there? You would just be doing the things that would allow your body to become fit and healthy because you're living fit and healthy and you actually liked living fit and healthy. But you would never, again, you'd never make a New Year's resolution to lose weight because you wouldn't have to. You'd already be that fit, healthy person. And when you are that person, it's very, very easy to live fit and healthy. And it doesn't mean you never have a piece of cake. It just means that you don't buy a cake and go home and eat the whole thing. That's what a person with an FAT mindset does. And I've been there before. I've done those kinds of things. You should see my kitchen, my cabinets, and my refrigerator right now. You know, I have a pumpkin pie in the freezer from Trader Joe's that I bought before Christmas, and I still haven't taken it out and defrosted it. In the past, many years ago, when I bought that pie that day, I would have eaten half of it, just me. I've had that pie in there we're going on a month because I bought it before Christmas back in December, and it's still in the freezer. I love Trader Joe's. I have all kinds of food in my kitchen right now from Trader Joe's that, oh wow, I've got boxes of Christmas cookies I haven't even opened yet. Haven't even opened them. I've got at least 5 different cookie styles from Trader Joe's because if you don't buy them during the season, they don't have them all year round. So I bought them. I don't know when I'm going to eat them. I probably should freeze them. But the reason I'm sharing this with you, listen, I'm not bragging. I'm sharing with you the fact that I've got these 5 boxes of cookies in my kitchen right now. Haven't even opened them. I probably should freeze them because eventually I think they'll probably turn gray. I've seen that happen before when I bought chocolate in the past and I never ate it. It turns gray. But in the past, I would have eaten all those boxes already. Any kind of chocolate I would have had in the house, all of it would have been gone. So I know what it's like to be out of control with food and your weight. But when you change at such a core level on the inside, there's no reason to make a New Year's resolution. There's no reason to deny yourself anything. If I were living years ago, I would have felt bad or I never would have bought those boxes of cookies. And then I would have gone and eaten all of them after I did buy them. Because I would have said, oh, I shouldn't buy them, and then I would have bought them, and then I would have eaten all of them. But I'm sitting here talking to you today, and that is not the case, and it's the same thing with my awesome clients that I work with. There's no deprivation, there's no forcing yourself, and you don't have to make yourself use willpower to do anything to lose weight. You want to eat the healthier foods. If you do want a cookie, you have a cookie, but you don't sit there and eat the whole box. What would that be like for you if you could have that? You can have that. You do need to shift at a core level on the inside, though, and if you are serious about doing that, and you would love to be able to stop asking yourself the question, why am I so smart? Why am I so successful in my business life, in my career life, but I just can't stop eating? If you'd love to never ask yourself that again and actually achieve freedom from your ongoing food and weight struggles, if you're serious about doing that, then head on over to fearlessfatloss.com and fill out that application for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. It's time for a commercial break, and today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is 31 Days of Loving Yourself Thin. 31 Days of Loving Yourself Thin.com is where you can go to find out more about how to love yourself thin. And thank you so much for being the sponsor of today's show. Once again, that's 31 Days of Loving Yourself Thin.com. It's a good thing when you learn how to love yourself. Once again, everything starts with you. You. Okay, shout-outs. How do you get a shout-out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show? We only use first names, and the way you get a shout-out is to go over to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com. You'll end up on our Facebook page. Click like to like the page. I'll give you a shout-out on an upcoming show. It's that simple. So let's recap what you learned today and wrap up today's show. Oh, before we do that, I need to give you some questions to ask yourself. On each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you a couple questions that you can ask yourself. I highly recommend that you write these down pen on paper. If you only listen to me, you'll get some kind of a aha, maybe, but it won't be anything near what you can get out of this free podcast when you take out a piece of paper and a pen, write down the question, and then write down your answer to the question. And I'll just give you a couple of these questions today, and then we'll wrap up today's show. The first question to ask yourself: exactly how many New Year's resolutions have I made to lose weight in my lifetime? Exactly how many New Year's resolutions to lose weight have I made in my lifetime? And that should be easy for you to figure out. Just look at how old you were when you first started struggling with food and your weight, subtract that number from your current age, and if you started making New Year's resolutions every year since then that'll give you the number right there. And then the next question: exactly how many of these New Year's resolutions to lose weight lasted for me long term? Exactly how many of these New Year's resolutions to lose weight that I made for myself lasted for me long term? Long term means that you made the resolution, you lost the weight, you kept it off. Done deal. I'm not being sarcastic with you here. Obviously, if any of them had worked for you, you would not be listening to my voice. I'm giving you these questions to ask yourself so that you can get clear with yourself. If you live in delusion and in denial, then you just cause yourself a lot of frustration. It's much better to get clear about where you're at so that then you can move forward. Okay, and another question to ask yourself: since New Year's resolutions to lose weight have never given me the permanent weight loss that I want — you do want permanent weight loss, right? I would expect you do, since you're listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. Okay, once again, since those New Year's resolutions to lose weight have never given me the permanent weight loss I want, what's my next step? What is my specific next step? And write that down. You know that you need to take care of what is 90% of your problem if you want to make weight loss easy for yourself and if you want to put an end to the struggle. Oh, and by the way, I did a podcast last year. If you didn't hear it, I'll tell you the briefness of it right now. One of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my lifetime when it comes to this weight loss topic is I told myself, I knew that it was an inner self problem. I knew that was the problem. I told myself, oh, well, I'll deal with that after I lose weight. I'll just do another diet. And if you're telling yourself that right now, that that's your next step, I would just encourage you to examine that, because If a food diet could have solved your emotional eating, your binge eating, your late night eating, stuffing, self-sabotage, yo-yo dieting, compulsive overeating, food addictions, chocolate addictions, all of these problems, if a food diet could have done that for you, then would you be listening to the JoLynn Braley Show right now? Wouldn't you have already been living struggle-free with food and your weight? I would expect that you would be. So then that would tell you that a food diet is not the answer to solving all of this, what I call a muckmire, right? Those are your questions to ask yourself. You do need to have a specific next step that will solve your inner self struggles. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many food diets you do, they're just not going to give you the lasting results with your weight issues. How could they? And this is important also. There's no reason to beat up on those healthy eating plans, those healthy diets you've done, the healthy ones. They're not supposed to solve your inner self problems. They're food diets. They're the physical action steps. So there's no reason to make them be wrong or bad or criticize them. Okay, let's wrap up the show here and let's look at what you learned today. What you learned today, you learned that 90% of your challenge is your mindset and 10% of the solution to losing weight is how you eat and exercise. You learned that what makes that 10% very easy is getting your inner self to match what you want on the outside, becoming that fit and healthy person on the inside so that then you actually want to eat healthy and you want to exercise and it's just not any big deal. You learned that the way to keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight is to never make one in the first place, but then we have to back up because you would need to already be that fit and healthy whole person, mind, body, spirit, the whole kit and caboodle before we get to the new year. And then that means that you'd be going through the holiday season and you'd be doing it without struggle and without depriving yourself. You learned that you really can have the results that my clients, that Marcia has, that all my other permanent weight loss clients have, that I told you about, that, hey, if you want to have 5 boxes of cookies in your kitchen from Trader Joe's and not even have opened them yet, not because you're telling yourself, oh, I can't open the cookies, but just because you don't want to. It's just not a big deal. If you want those kinds of results, if that sounds really neat to you, then your first step is to go to fearlessfatloss.com and apply for that complimentary weight loss discovery session. That's your first step towards leaving all of your food and weight struggles behind you. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Once again, Happy New Year to you. Be sure and head on over to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com. Click like to like our Facebook page, and you'll get a shout out from me on an upcoming show. If you're subscribed in iTunes, go ahead and give the show a 5-star rating. Give us a review at the same time. We would love to read what your biggest aha is from listening to the show. I know that this show is very, very, very different from all the rest out there because we're not talking about the food. The food is only 10% of the solution. Yes, it is important how you eat and exercise, but what makes it really easy is the 90%, and the 90% is your mindset. Next week's episode, why weight loss is not supposed to be hard. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, and you have been listening to The JoLynn Braley Show. Head on over to fearlessfatloss.com to learn more and grab your free 5-day e-course while you're there. It will help you answer the question, is your mindset FIT or FAT and help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. Happy New Year once again. I sincerely wish that you create the exact wonderful body and wonderful life of your dreams that you desire for yourself, that you do it now, that you don't wait one moment longer, and that you thrive in 2014 instead of just surviving. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.